Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place. Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Take this! Oh, no, son!
Burning strike! Airborne beast. Mine I never miss. Alright.
I'm free!
Why can't they just sit still?
Can you take care of them?
Do it! No sooner said than done! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say? These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart. This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
A comfortable win.
All right.
There's nowhere to run from my heart. When he slows down, that's our chance.
You're not trying to keep up with a wolf!
You require a hand.
Take
this! You're mine!
I'll show you just how strong my arts really are!
Take this!
I'm all charged up! Dance in the
No
wind!
escape! Go away!
Photon Reload! Thunderbolt!
First strike! That's enough! Go away!
Reload!
To be clear!
Sleep now!
In a vine!
Another one!
Come again! Crush! Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Steering blade! Go
away!
You require a hand. Reload!
Your fist! Take this!
I'm on a roll now!
Eternal devastation!
First do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
I sent...
I wonder if I'm as strong as my dad was.
One day I think you'll surpass him.
I wonder when.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
What's this thing?
No holding back!
This will be a piece of cake!
Take this!
I'm like Jason.
Here I come! I'm not going to
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
These fists have got your name on them!
Prepare to be sealed, oh
Here goes!
sound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing. Leave the enemy's arc to
Can't
me!
get out of this!
No control. Here!
Watch.
Sword Rain Alpha! Dragon Form!
Here I go!
Destruction! We're cleaning house!
Let me take the rest of them!
Someone's feeling lively!
Breathe in! Attack time!
I'm not done! Destruction! Strike! I'm not done! Sword Rain Alpha!
Do it!
Ignite! Here you go!
Did you just heal me?
Yes, I made you, remember?
Right.
In here! I'll grab a
Can't get out of this!
Talon Hurricane!
Here I come!
This one's mine!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Do it! Supernova!
Meanwhile, Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis! I'm on it! I never miss!
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
systems! This one's tough!
I can carve through armor! Eat this!
You're mine! No escape!
I will circle an airborne target.
Eternal devastation! It's some!
Eat this!
Got fire!
I've got this. Let me handle it.
All yours!
I'll be saving this one.
Do it now!
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Citizen! Excited.
Dragon shell!
I'm on it! Devastation!
Come and get it!
You got
Now I'm real mad!
Eat
this!
I'm not done!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Hear me! Here's the dragon shell! Get the wind! Air thrust! Here I go! I'm only getting started! Searing flame! If it's in the sky, it's
You're
mine!
mine! Destruction!
Dance in the wind! Do it! Air thrust!
All yours, Kisara!
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me? Well, I'll do my best. It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn. You weren't messing around. Gotta break through! Take this!
They're surrounding us! Go down! Light! It's not in your I never finished!
Sword Ring Alpha!
Now I'm in the groove!
Explosive ring! No! Stay!
I never finished! Lightning descent! Now!
Take this!
Here's a healing!
Hey!
Blow them away!
Here, let me help.
The enemy wheels are too.
We'll soon see about that!
Armor won't save you!
I'm not done! Sword Ring
Now!
Alpha!
Talon Hurricane! Here goes!
Sword Ring Alpha!
What's this?
Healing circle! Lightning
Distraction!
orb! Light after
Blow away!
You are in tip-top shape!
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no?
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky!
Brace yourself! This one's tough! Easter! I'm on! You're mine! No escape!
They got me flanked!
Eternal devastation! Take this! Strike!
I'm out! Rocket spray! Primed and ready! This one's mine! Steel!
Take this!
I'll finish you
Now!
Double me! In an instant! Impact block!
Here, this one's
See
mine!
what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
Magic is in! Sleep now!
No
Let's get
escape!
you all tucked away!
Stardust!
Do it!
All good things come to
Double me! In an instant! Impact block!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Go no further!
I'll smash you!
It's on! I'm on it!
Lightning orb!
Here I come! I'm not done!
Tail! Got you! Searing flame! Reload!
First strike! Ignite! An astral arc?
That's my cue!
Shut him down! Now! Now! Damn it! Too fast! Stand back. I'll trip it up. Take this! I'm not done!
Do it!
Hey! Pull them away!
Hear me! Flame of fury!
Take this! Eat this!
How's this?
I'm not done! Now you see what I can do!
Eat this!
Let go!
Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me. Here's a healing art! Our
No
expert
escape!
coming through!
Throw away!
Now!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
Light astral energy! Reload! Photon! Lightning do it!
Destruction! Take Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Step back! This one's all law!
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything... that makes battles easier is okay by me.
More Danon runes here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here?
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
What's this thing?
Really bad feeling about this.
Take this! Take this! No escape! I'm on it!
In a bind?
Take this! No escape!
I'm a blind!
Lightning condemned!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Mirage!
Armor won't save you!
Here I come!
That's enough!
Eternal devastation! Sword Rain Alpha!
Lightning condemned! Hear me!
Coming in! You're finished!
Let's go!
Great! Nice!
These little ones are hard
hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Focus, Linwood. You can't rely on yourself.
Don't be a martyr.
Tell your friends, Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! Come and face me! You're mine!
Now!
Raining
Shield! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Well, looky here!
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
I don't know about that. If I had to guess, it probably served as some kind of shrine.
So still a house, in a sense. Just for a god.
An opponent like this should be easy.
I never miss!
I'm on it!
Ready and ready!
Eternal devastation!
Lightning orb!
Destruction!
Light out now!
Hurricane!
Shield! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Easy peasy, huh, Hoodle?
This will be a delicious piece of cake! I'll be glad if I do! Shiny supernova! More where that came from!
Destruction!
Games in the wind!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Now you see what I can do!
This one's all mine! Here I come!
Do it!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
There! Go time to set! Dragon Shell!
I'm even stronger than before.
Through these lands most verdant green, my eyes alight for sights unseen. In Menancia, pure and pristine.
What is it you see exactly?
That's not for me to say.
Hi, Hoodle!
Take this! Burn! I'm on it!
Light Astro Kick in the wind! There! Seal! I'll be saving you, friend! Here goes! This one's mine! Get! This is confiscated!
Eat this! Win!
Reload!
Devastation!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
Dance in the wind!
Take this!
Yes, it is! Sighted! It's over!
Can't get out of this!
Alright! Into the shadows!
Far enough!
We got the advantage.
Do it!
Just have all yours, Kisara!
Take it!
Not a chance! I'm
Do
not
it!
done! Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle is a part of your everyday.
what I can do!
Take this!
I'm on it!
Severing wind!
Thunder field! Searing flame!
You picked the wrong fight!
First strike!
Searing flame! Lightning fury!
Destruction!
Burning
Alpha!
Now I'm
Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Will this help?
Dance in the wind! Astra! Healing circle! Lightning condemned! Thunder field!
Easy smelling to me. Yeah! That's bubbling to me!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara! I can feel my power growing!
Get lost!
Here I come! Now we're not... No further!
Thunderblade! Healing strike!
I'm surrounded!
Thank you.
I'm sorry to be a bother.
We've all got enough of it.
Yes, ma'am!
Burn in hell! Destruction! Eternal devastation!
Now, healing circle!
Light burst forth!
Radiant genesis! Dance in the wind! We never miss!
Take this! No escape!
Into the
Now
shadows!
I'm in the groove!
Eternal devastation!
Thunder field!
Soaring Alpha! All yours, Kisara!
Here I go! My escalator dance in the wind! Sweet
Dragon
love!
form!
Searing flame! Reload! Into the
Prepare to be
shadows!
sealed!
Banana, let's
Take
go!
this!
I'm all stocked up! Primed and ready! Hit
You're
now!
mine! First strike!
We won that by a mile!
Hey, new equipment! opponent like this should be easy.
Where are you going? Sweet now. Confiscated.
Cupid! The wrong
Here I
fight!
go.
I'll smash you!
Again. Thunder field. Into the shadows.
Swordblade Alpha!
Now.
Blending Flash!
Fury. Burning Astra.
We've Turn the tables on him.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
Air thrust! Photon lightning condense!
Fantastic! Great! Amazing!
It's in the sky! Shut up, Law! I'm trying to focus.
I was only trying to be nice.
You're most comfortable. I'm not really built for close quarter combat.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
This will be a delicious piece of cake!
Hey, when did I get so popular?
Lightning round!
You require a hand.
You're mine!
First strike!
Dance in the wind! Hand across field!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Take this!
Dance in the wind! Field!
Now you see what I can do!
Ignite!
Dust to dust!
Go on!
Hey, one at a time! Steering flag! Reload!
Watch
One
it!
more! All right!
Take
It's
this!
showtime!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion. Right, here goes!
It's over! Thunderblade!
You're mine! No escape!
Dragon Shell!
Eternal devastation!
Reload!
All finishing here and now!
Here I come! Strike! It's over!
More for the stockpile!
Strike! Strike! Devastation!
Now!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara! Wish they were all that easy.
Yeah, I think we might be getting too strong.
Isn't that good?
Play along, would you? Pow!
This one's all mine!
I never miss! Dragon Shell! Sleep now! Take it!
Destruction! Crush! Can't get out of this! You're mine!
Too much to handle!
Do it!
Reload! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Take it! Got lightning condense!
I'm not done!
Thunderblade!
Dragon Swarm!
Dragon Shell!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Here I go! House it!
Now you see what I can do!
Ah! Easter!
I'm on it!
This one's mine!
Do it!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'm practically unstoppable.
Get lost!
Here I come! No escape! Dragon
Let
Swarm!
Astral dance in the wind! Not on my watch! Or still!
You're mine! Strike!
Not on my watch!
Destruction!
Here goes!
Eternal devastation!
Whoa! Hey! One at a time!
Do it!
You are in
Wall off.
tip-top shape!
Soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no?
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Lost!
Demons descend! Flashing fang! Easy!
Way to go!
Eat this!
No escape!
Silent hurricane!
Go finish!
Take this!
Chinese
No
supernova!
further!
Eat this!
In here! There! Let's get... You are
Easter!
only getting started! Here, let me help!
Destruction!
Alright! It's showtime!
Do it!
Lightning!
All yours, Kisara!
Lightning condense! Thunderblade!
Armor won't save you!
Here I come! First strike! Dragon
Lightning
Swarm!
condense!
Do it!
Thunderblade!
Explode!
Step back! This one's all law!
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes, I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?